I decided to break the replay action here on the podcast. We were planning to host replays this spring, which we have been doing. But of course, my Sagittarius self was like, I'm tired of that. And so I'm back at you with a brand new episode. We just hosted a very fun event, and I spent a week with some members of Team TSE and some community members, and it was so good. And I want to share with you three big, I don't know, lessons or takeaways or reminders, I guess. Some of this I already knew, but reminders from this time with you, spending time with lots of women and kids and spouses. And it was quite the ride. And I've got three things I think that are worth sharing from that time. Listen in. If the word witch makes you feel full of power and excitement, if you love personal development but loathe boring love and light conversation, if a sexy combo of witchery and inner work piques your interest, you're in the right place. Welcome home, Magic Maker, and welcome to Expedition to Soul, the podcast brought to you by the Sisters Enchanted. Hello, y'all. So I'm back from my very brief podcast replay hiatus this spring. There might still be some replays coming up. We got a lot going on. I am headed on a trip to Maine for a little over a week, and then I'm off again to somewhere in Massachusetts, and then onward and upward. 'Tis the season of travel. If you don't know, my family, we are RV people. So we've got a big old 44-foot fifth wheel trailer that we drive around and see cool stuff in. And the season is upon us. Here where I live in New England, most of the campgrounds don't open up again until sometime in May. And so as soon as they open in May, we hit the road, and our calendar is booked through into October with really cool adventures. So there might still be some replays coming your way. There will be on the podcast each week the two episodes. We'll still put out two episodes. One will be the coffee chat that I host on Sundays for our community. And then the other will be either a fresh episode or a replay dependent on the week. So we just hit 1 million podcast downloads, and thank you all for listening for all of these years. The day that we hit 1 million podcast downloads was also the day that we had 444 podcast episodes, and that felt so freaking cool and exciting and synchronistic. We've had our podcast under two names, so this episode will be like episode 200 something, but we had 200 some odd episodes in the Magic on the Inside podcast. So it's all in the same player, but we changed the name to Expedition to Soul. And anyway, it was 444 episodes on the day we hit 1 million podcast downloads. So that was really neat. Thank you for being here as part of our community. All right. I want to share with you three lessons or reminders, takeaways from our grand TSE adventure last week. So this just happened, and I'll give you a little rundown of the week. It was a fast and furious week. So on Sunday, my team member Naomi, who works here on the back end of Team TSE, she flew into Connecticut to see me. We drove on Saturday. On Sunday, we drove up to Salem, Mass, where we met up. Me and Naomi, my husband, and my two kids. We all drove up, and we met up with our team member Jenna and her husband and their two kids in Salem, and we did some adventuring. And then we headed over to the Manchester, Massachusetts, where we rented this big old house, big, creepy, spooky, old, fallen apart house, but nice and delightful all the same. And we tucked in there for the night. Very early Monday morning, like 6 a.m., our team member Patty arrived from California in Boston. So we fetched her, brought her over. And Monday, we spent the day traversing around Salem, Jenna and Patty and Naomi and myself, and exploring and doing some of the museums. It was Naomi and Patty's first time there. And Anna arrived later that day with her husband and two kids. And we were all together. Tuesday, we hosted 7 of our community members from our small group mastermind. at the house. It was such a fun day. We rolled some beeswax candles, talked about the asteroid Vesta and astrology, and did a meditation. We had a Scorpio full moon circle outside. And then we did a ghost hunt in the house, which was very, very exciting. And, um, you know, it was goosebumps and fun and spooky all at the same time. And it was a wonderful day to be in community and chat with each other and sharing that experience. On Wednesday, Team TSE, so the folks, Jenna, Naomi, Patty, Anna, and myself who were there, we had a video shoot with our photographer, and we did all kinds of fun video, ran into a cold ocean in Massachusetts on a 55-degree day in dresses, and I'd do it all over again in a second. As soon as that was done, Anna and I hightailed it to the House of Seven Gables in Massachusetts, in Salem, to attend a wedding of one of our longtime community members, Nicole and Dan, and we went to the reception after, and it was so fun to meet their family and attend the wedding. So that was a long day. And then Thursday, we explored some more, headed home. Friday, Naomi and I and my family went to see the play Wicked, and that was a long night and also amazing. It was Naomi's first time. And then there was a sigh of relief come Saturday when we could just stay, be, and rest a little bit. So it was a fast and furious week. It was a lot of fun. And I am so grateful that we had this time and that I was able to bring Team TSE together, as well as some of our community members, and just have these really cool, fun experiences. But I was like, so much energy was there. And I wanted to share with you some of the takeaways from the week. So the first thing that I think is important to remember when any time in life, I think, is to always have like, what's the thing I'm looking forward to? This was a very amazing week, and it was a very full week. And I'm a person who I have a lot of energy, and I have a lot of, I can hang, I can keep moving. And also when I'm with a lot of people, I tend to like need some time to recharge on my own, which was a long time, a lot of days of being full in experience with other people here. And so I think that what's helpful is when you have stuff coming up, right? Or a long stretch of something in your life, is just to know what you're looking forward to and when. So each day for me, like the drive up to Salem on Sunday, I was really looking forward to seeing Patty Monday morning. And then we even did like a little hike to go see this nature reserve in Manchester, Massachusetts, and on Monday. And it was such a great day. But then I was looking forward to Tuesday, right, to see our community members. And then on Tuesday, I was looking forward to the video shoot. And during the video shoot, I was looking forward to the wedding. And then I was looking forward to the play, right? And then as tired as I was, I actually nodded off a little bit in the play. I had to wake myself up. It's like, who goes to see Wicked and nods off? But it was 8:00 at night, and I'd been all this week ahead of me. Plus, it was my third time seeing it. So, it wasn't my first time. But then I had to say, okay, I'm looking forward to Saturday and resting. And so I think that it's important to always have an awareness about what is it that you're looking forward to. Are you just looking forward to like 10 a.m. on Saturday because that is when you're going to take an hour to just be a potato on the sofa? Or are you really looking forward to 3:00 on Tuesday because there's this thing happening and you're excited to have that appointment or have that conversation, right? So having something like to keep your eye on, that light at the end of the tunnel. What is the next thing? I think when you're feeling very in the thick of stuff, knowing exactly what that is and bringing an awareness to it is helpful to keep that momentum going when it feels like it might falter. And I definitely use that strategy this week. I was always like looking forward to the next thing. So present in what I was doing, but feeling like, okay, and I have this to look forward to, and it's right around the corner, and we're going to be there before I know it. And that was helpful to sustain energy over this long period of time. The second thing, the great reminder or lesson, is to really stay in your own head. the importance of staying in your own energy, in your own head. So it was a wonderful week. Like we had so much fun. I loved it. I'm so grateful. And there were a lot of people there. We had 5 team members. There were 6 kids amongst families that brought children, 3 spouses, 3 husbands. There were, of course, our community members, the people for the wedding. There was our photographer, a lot of people. And I think that what can happen is, just hearing who needs what, who thinks what, who wants what. And it can be really easy to start to feel overwhelmed with uh, everybody else in your space, and just remembering to stay in your own head and not trying to put yourself in other people's heads. Like, what are they really thinking right now? What are they not saying? How can I read between the lines? Or, when just any like offhanded comment, really taking it as something you need to attend to, right? Or making it part of your responsibility or your energy. Staying in your own head and being clear on what is going on. So for me, as the host of this event, right, and like providing food for several days and everybody, having to keep in mind that there are lots of people here, and obviously we can't make 20 different accommodations. So having to say, well, this is what is going to be considered reasonable, and then staying in my own head about it. And I think that that's the same with like bedtimes. And some people like to stay up late. Some people like to go to bed early, right? And not overextending yourself depending on just other people's energy. Really staying in your own head when you are with other people. And that lesson applies to work, family, like anywhere generally, but really was a big reminder to me of that this week when we were together. So just stay in your own energy, stay in your own head, and try to stay out of everybody else's because you can't insert yourself into somebody else's brain, right? Just stay in your own. So having these things to look forward to, that was a great reminder. In terms of getting through times that feel like this is a lot, to keep that momentum going. And in any situation in life, the importance of staying in your own head and your own energy, because when you're in energy with other people, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with trying to like take on somebody else's stuff or people please or handle or whatever. Just stay in your own head, stay in your own head. And then the third thing, the reminder of this week, it's really just say yes whenever possible. Just say yes. So this was one of the Anna and I over the years have done several photo shoots and videos where we walk along this stone wall. So some of you listening may have seen some of these. They're always fun. We get great feedback on them. And it's just Anna and I though. And this wall that we walk on, it's pretty low to the ground. Like I don't think we'd I guess you could break a bone if you fell off of it, but it's just Anna and I, and it's not that high off the ground, right? I feel pretty safe on it. And it's like pretty flat on the top, and it feels safe and secure. And it's wide and it's all good. So this house we rented had this outdoor like patio thing that was raised up. So you had to take stairs to get down to the backyard. So it was like yard and then stairs to more yard. And there's a rock wall, a surround around the whole thing so that you don't walk off the edge, obviously. And it's higher up than the one that Anna and I normally walk on the upper area. And then of course, if you fell off the other side, you're going down like a flight of stairs height to hit the ground below. And my teammates, my lovely Team TSE, were like, oh, we should do the thing and walk on the wall. And at first I was like, absolutely not. Because if one of you falls, I'm in big trouble. We can't do that. And so we talked about it. We joked, everybody was yelling, I give verbal consent. It's on me if something happens. And, as the responsible party, I was like, no, we can't do that. Ultimately, I said yes. Like, all right, we can do it in this area that feels a little more safe than this other area. And I'm so glad I said yes, though, because it was really, really fun. We had a ton of laughs, and I think that we're going to be thrilled when we see the video clips that were taken during it. But I said yes to that. We had a different plan for Monday to do some work as a team. And some things shifted. And so I said yes to going and exploring Salem and doing some of the museums. And we had a blast doing that. We had so much fun. I said yes to lunch in the middle, like lunch out when we normally wouldn't have done that. And we just had so much fun on the times that I said yes to these experiences, though my initial reaction was to say no. And so the reminder to say yes whenever you can. Obviously, sometimes you got to say no, but say yes as often as possible because you just don't know what could come of it and what you could be missing out on when you get stuck in this like discomfort energy that makes you feel like, but I had a plan. I'm trying to be in control. And what if I let go of control? And just what you can be missing out on if you are sticking to control and fear, and not saying yes to the times when you really could. And it's not like a major risk to say yes, say yes more often. So those are my 3 reminders from this epic week. It was one of the most epic weeks probably of my adult life in terms of experience and spending time with people and how much fun it was. Like it was not a so often, you have all of these things happening. You're bringing different people together for different times. And there's like a moment where you're like, oh man, I wish that didn't happen. But it was just such a great week. I'm so, so grateful for everybody who came and how much we were able to experience together. So these 3 things again, have something to look forward to when you feel like you've got a long haul ahead of you and you've got some energy management to do, really keeping the momentum going, have something to look forward to. That is so helpful to just know like, all right, well, at this time on this day is when here's the next thing. And that will help you keep your energy moving forward. Stay in your own head when it comes to groups of people, work, family, whatever. It's so easy to just try to take on other people's stuff or feel like you need to be everything to everybody, especially when you're the person who's like holding everything together. Or just taking in opinions, we all love to give an opinion, whether or not we think we're doing it. Like, right, we're just talking in conversation and what we think comes out and it becomes an opinion out there in the world. Just remember to stay in your own head about it. And don't waste your energy trying to be in other people's heads or, accommodate every single little thing that you hear. And don't stew on it. Just let it go. Let it go and be in your own head. And then the third thing, say yes whenever you can. Because that is, I think we tend to say no out of fear, discomfort, trying to control things so that we know what's going to happen and we don't find ourselves in unexpectedly painful situations or embarrassed or, when we put thought into something and then someone suggests something different and we feel like, oh, well, now I feel bad because my thing wasn't good enough or got changed or whatever. If you can say yes, say yes. Because most of the things that were really fun and unexpected were things I didn't expect. I didn't expect to go on this short hike that we went on one day. I didn't expect to do the museums on the day that we did them. I didn't expect to be dancing on this rock wall. I didn't expect to, between the wedding and the reception, Anna and I had a block of time that I didn't quite put together in my head was going to be there. And Anna and I had an amazing time just looking at like window shopping and having a cocktail together, which we haven't done in years, actually. And so saying yes to that instead of trying to somehow fill that time or micromanage how that time would be handled, just saying yes. So do that more often. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for being here as part of our podcast community. I hope that you are going to listen for a long time to come. And man, what will it be like when we hit 2 million podcast episodes? I gotta just bask in 1 million podcast episodes. If you're not part of our Born Magic Bootcamp, that starts on Tuesday, May 7th. Join us there. If you feel like you want some yes energy in your life, come hang out. I'll boot camp you into remembering you were born magic and you can do anything you want to. If you're not in holistic witchery, get on the wait list for that. We've got a cool event coming up in just a couple weeks around that, and we'd love to have you. All right, y'all. Until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you love the podcast, be sure to leave us a rating or a review. That helps us to get the word out about all we're doing here at the Sisters Enchanted. Thanks for being part of our community, and we'll see you in the next episode.